what my hot take is about this. And we'll pull up some Dragon Age Veilguard gameplay while we talk about this a little bit. Yeah, it's just let's just pull up just somebody like, and we're not gonna do audio because like they'll take it down. Oh, here's a guy playing here. Can we just do like a Dragon Age full playthrough? Let's just look for this. Oh, that's the sure. You know what? Let's just do let's do the old school instead of watching Veilguard. Let's do the old school. And I actually loved this game, dude. I actually loved this game. I'm not gonna lie. I played the shit out of this game, dude, back in the day. But so you know what? Like, I don't think we'll get canned on YouTube for this. I'll put like a little volume. I'm gonna put like just the tiniest bit of volume on this. So, well, they're talking. Okay, let's see. Like, I guess this game is a lot of talking, isn't it? All right, never mind. No volume. It makes sense. I don't want it to be distracting. Anyway, I played the shit out of this game, but and I really enjoyed it a lot, and I really like had high hopes for the IP of Dragon Age, and then it just kind of went downhill. But I thought it was a cool concept the whole time. So Elder Scrolls 6 is probably going to be bad. Why is that? I think one, because they're owned by Microsoft. I think two, because the games have consistently gotten worse with Bethesda, and so I'm a Skyrim fan. I love Skyrim, and I played a lot of Skyrim, and that was like my first big Elder Scrolls game that I spent a lot of time with it. You guys know that Skyrim was huge, obviously, and it still is in a lot of ways. I never played Shadowrun. But yeah, so I played a lot of Skyrim. Played it so much. Mods, did the whole thing. Put so many hours into Skyrim. Then after Skyrim, we had Fallout 4, I think. I think Fallout 4 came out next from Bethesda. And I played a good bit of Fallout 4, but I noticed that I did not like Fallout 4 as much as I liked Fallout 3. Even though I played a lot of it. And I didn't like Fallout 4 as much as I liked Skyrim. And then we move on and we do Starfield. I was very hyped for Starfield. I really wanted to play Starfield. I was I wasn't like completely sold on like, is this going to be the best game I've ever played? But like, Bethesda launches are so few and far between. It's just like, I love Bethesda type games. I love Bethesda games is what I'll say. Okay. So I was hyped for Starfield, and I just had high hopes, and then I played a lot of Starfield. I played probably more Starfield than I probably should have. I did everything there was to do, and I even played the DLC that dropped after, the one with the snake people. And I can objectively look back and say that Skyrim was better than Starfield. And there's a lot of reasons for that. We won't necessarily go into all of them here because, Lord, I have so many videos on Starfield and things like that. And then I played recently the Oblivion remake. And what I realized is that the Oblivion remake is better than Skyrim, I think. Like, maybe not overall better than Skyrim, but like from the game systems and like the writing maybe, and then the feel of the game, I think Oblivion might be the better game. But at this point in my life, like, will I go back and play Oblivion as much as I played Skyrim? Maybe not, just because it's a different time. And what you could do with Skyrim with modding and changing up the game and how much hype there was around it, like, we're just in a different time. I probably won't engage with Oblivion again as much as I did Skyrim. But I do think objectively it was probably a better game. So I'm just going to use my logic here and say, for all of my years of playing Bethesda games, they have consistently, in my mind, gotten worse. I still play them. I still get hyped over them, but they get worse. So with the news of like them getting a shitty writer, they already kind of got some shitty writers, and they're all in on the gay. They're all in on LGBT. They're woke already. Like, so it's like I don't know if they can get more woke. Maybe they can't. Like, well, they can get more woke. Like, if you play Elder Scrolls 6 and it's like, you have to play as like a trans character, or like the main character is trans. Like the main, like, usually there's like a celebrity voice or something. If the celebrity voice is that trans kid that got popular over Bud Light or whatever, what's his name? Dylan Mulvaney? No, I think that's a comedian. I can't remember. I think it's a Dylan though. I think his name is Dylan. It's the boy that dresses up like a woman. Oh shit, I don't remember. But he doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is like, unless they go full retard woke like that, and it's like completely shoved in, even if they have like ugly women, people can mod that out and put in hot women. I mean, like, it is what it is. So it's fine. Like, but like, you know, there was like, being gay was a big part of Starfield because Barrett was gay, and it's like I think his name was his name Barrett? I think his name was Barrett. Your black guy, who I was like, man, it's cool to have a strong black guy companion who's compelling and interesting and voiced well. I'm excited to roll with this guy. And then the whole time he's just like, yeah, my husband. Yeah, I miss my husband. Yeah, my husband used to like this. And I'm like, fuck. Yeah, it's sad, man. All right, I'm gonna go play with this chick now. And I never really play with them as much. And again, I don't think that's like me being anti gay or black. Maybe it is, and if it is, okay, I'll own it, whatever. I'm anti-gay, I guess. I don't know. Fuck, is that what that means? Can I have preferences? I don't know. But I was like, hey man, you know, we're jumping through the portals of the universe, and I hate that you miss your husband and everything, and I know that like you want to bang me probably because that's how these games work. Like, eventually we could bang. Like, I get that that's where this is going, but what if we don't do that? What if I just run with the robot instead, and we just try to figure out how to save the universe? But he was still cool. Like, Barrett was still cool, but it just felt off to me. And like, I don't know, maybe like I've known a few gay people in my time, and none of them were like Barrett. So I don't know, like, and that's why it felt off. Maybe it's like, and I'm not saying like every gay is like flamboyant and like, oh my god, girl, your ass is so fun and that thing. Like, oh god, you know, I don't think that's it. Like, there's gay people that are like, hey, I talk like this, you know, that's fine. Like, I had a gay friend when I lived in Nashville. He was cool. Like, it's fine. He like, you could tell he was gay, but he wasn't like overly gay. Like, I'm sucking cocks in public gay. You know, it wasn't like that. But you know, he wasn't parade gay, is what we'll say. He may have done parades, but like, he wasn't parade gay. He was just normal gay. And so it felt off with Barrett because it sounded like with his voice, and the guy, you could tell that the voice actor wasn't gay. And again, I'm not saying like he had to be flamboyant or anything. It was just kind of I don't know, man. Again, maybe like if I just like reflect on it, like maybe I'm uncomfortable with gay, but I don't think that's true because I had friends that were gay. It just felt off. It just felt weird. And I'm saying that as innocently as I can. Elder Scrolls 6 is going to have hermaphrodites, probably. Starfield was the biggest letdown of my life. I'm sorry, Kingslayer. The space travel was the biggest letdown ever, but like the game itself I thought the game was fun. I played it all. I mean, I'll probably play it again one day. Like, I still like Starfield, but the space and stuff was, yeah, it could have been a lot better. Again, I have entire YouTube videos on this and shorts on this. But yeah, I probably just put as many hours into Morrowind, Oblivion, as Skyrim. The New Vegas was the best. My wife was a huge New Vegas fan, Burn. She loved New Vegas. My wife is she's the Fallout fan here in this household. I like Fallout just fine, but she's the fan. She's like, we gotta watch the show. She loves Fallout 3. Fallout 3 is her favorite. She likes New Vegas as well, though. I told her they're making like a Fallout 3 remake, and she's like kind of hyped about that. Because I think they're going to do the remake treatment for Fallout 3. But yeah, so, you know, this is not about being gay or anything, but anytime, like, I guess it is, because like if they're getting the writer for the Veilguard, which there was a lot of gay in that writing, and it was like, you know, we're all trying to save the world, and it's like, hang on, but I'm a character in the game. I just want to talk about how I'm non-binary. It's like, okay, dude. And it's like having these like expositions where like we talk about our sexuality and stuff is just very unnatural. It's very unnatural. And what do I mean by that?
Like if and I know it's fantasy, I know it's like, it's all made up, it's all fiction, but what makes fiction good is your ability to relate to it. And like, to me, whenever I see good fiction, or I identify with fiction that's good, whether it's a movie, a book, or anything, or a game, or whatever, like I have to be able to somewhat put myself in it and feel like the motivations are accurate to the real world. And even if it's in a fantastical world, if the motivations are similar to the real world, then I can identify with it, and I feel like it's pretty good. So I'll try to think of an example of that. Okay, so like in Lord of the Rings, right? Lord of the Rings, when the Two Towers, whenever they're trying to defend Helm's Deep, okay? And all the orcs are coming, and there's like 10,000 orcs, and there's only a few men left, and there's old men, there's little kids fighting, and like they got their women and children, like, what are we gonna fucking do? And all the men are tired, and they're stressed out, and they're like, man, like, you can feel the real thing of it. Like, it's a fantasy world, it's all fucking made up. It's orcs and elves and dwarfs and all sorts of bullshit, right? But you can feel in the characters like, hey man, like, they're gonna fucking kill our wives and kids. Like, these orcs are gonna fucking kill our wives and kids, man. And like, we're gonna go out here and like, we know we're gonna lose, but we would rather die swinging than just let them fucking kill them. And I'm sorry, but I can identify with that big time. I can identify with that fucking big time. Okay, that's fantasy, crazy, made up bullshit. Okay. If I'm playing Dragon Age the Velguard, and you have written that story, and we're like, and the characters are sitting around a table, and it's like, okay, the world's ending, we got to figure out how to save the world because everybody's going to die if we don't beat this enemy who's going to kill the world. And some bro walks up, or transgender person walks up and says, you know what, but actually, did y'all know that I was non-binary, and can I explain to you what that means? I'm like, that doesn't seem like that doesn't seem right. I feel like in a story where you're doing something fantastical, or you're doing something where like everything matters to achieve the goal, people typically aren't going to stop and talk about their sexuality. And they're definitely probably not going to like stand on a soapbox about it and be like, hey, it's my right to be fucking gay and cut my dick off, or whatever it is that they do, or whatever they're doing. It's like, it kind of takes me out of it. I'm not saying that trans people are bad and gay people are bad inherently. I think you can find the value in everyone. I think you should try to find value in everyone. I think a lot of people are confused, a lot of people are broken, and a lot of people have a hard time with their own identity. I have a hard time with my identity a lot of times. A lot of times I look in the mirror and I'm like, who the fuck am I? Like, what is this? But I'm not at the point in my life where I'm like, I need to change myself so much that I need to be like another gender or race or something like that. But I think a lot of people who are very uncomfortable in their own skins, like, are sold on the idea that they need to change themselves drastically rather than accept themselves. And it's just where we live in as a society. It's just the way that it is. And unfortunately, a lot of times people get sold on that and they do it. And I don't think that they're doing anything inherently wrong. I think they're trying to make themselves feel better, and they just don't know how. And they don't know how to accept themselves. And I think that sucks, that that they sometimes do things that are irreversible, like that. But if they feel better, then okay, that's cool too. Whatever. But anyway, so like when you're in a video game, like Elder Scrolls 6, you're in a video game and you're trying to save the universe or the land from whatever's happening. Like, I don't, like, what could the story of Elder Scrolls 6 be? I don't even know. Like with Oblivion, it was like, we gotta shut the gates of Oblivion because the Oblivion world is destroying this world. Okay, cool. And Skyrim, it's like the dragons are fucking up the world. We gotta stop the dragons. And then there was like other sub stories of like the Nords versus the Imperials, and really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. With Elder Scrolls 6, let's just imagine it's going to be something like that. Some kind of doom and gloom's trying to destroy the world, and you are the chosen one to save it. And then there's some subplots going on with like the different houses, the mage guilds, the fighters guilds, and all that. And then there's like political, Khajiits versus Argonians, whatever. Let's just say that's happening, and you're interested in that storyline. if somebody comes in during that story and they're like, hey, let me talk about who I fuck all the time, or who I don't, or like how I don't know what to do because I don't know who I am, and it like I can't figure out who I am. Let me talk to you about that. It's like it can, I think it can be done well to have a storyline with that, but it's like it doesn't need to be like I'm gay and trans and all that stuff in that world, because I'm personally going to be like taken out of it like that. But you could have a story, even if they are being trans or gay, and like that's something you want to talk about narratively. I think it should be more focused on identity, as far as like the story. Like the character shouldn't come out and be in your face and be like, I'm fucking non-binary. Do you know what that means in the Elder Scrolls world? It's like, what are you talking about? What is this propaganda bullshit you're feeding me? It should really be something where it can be a clearly trans person, like a person looks like a clown. It's a guy with a wig on or whatever, like whatever you want to do. I'm not saying all trans people like a clown, but you know what I'm saying. You get Caitlyn Jenner in there, and he's like, and they'd probably put him as like the general or something like that. He's the general of the Nords, is a man. I mean, he, she, or whatever. Which is, in America, that could be very realistic, unfortunately. But I don't know, like maybe you could tackle that in a different way. Maybe you could tackle that based on like them struggling with accepting themselves in a different way, or tell that story so that everyone can identify with it and figure that out. But I don't know what the answer is. Like at the end of the day, I feel like with stories and storylines, I enjoy identifying with people like me, and I don't think that's racist and sexist. I think that like in my youth, I remember in my youth shitting on Twilight a lot, and as I got older and more mature, I realized like, why am I shitting on that? Not everything is for me. Not every piece of entertainment is made for me. And I was a real asshole about Twilight. I'll be honest. I was. And I remember talking to a girl and her husband like in a bookstore, and I was just shitting on Twilight. And I could tell, and his wife, to be fair, is like super liberal, and she's kind of a bitch or whatever. And like, that's not her, like whatever. But I was being a dick about it. I was like, Twilight's the worst fucking thing I've ever seen. It's so stupid. It's so bullshit, whatever. And I could see her like, her reaction where like, she really enjoyed Twilight, bro. She did. Innocently. She wasn't going out of her way to talk to me about like fucking Twilight and putting Twilight in my face. And her husband's trying to like kind of defend her, but he doesn't want to be like too whatever. And he wasn't like trying to defend her, but I could tell he was kind of uncomfortable. I was like, fuck. And I look back on that memory and I'm like, I was the asshole. Clearly. And I don't want to be that guy necessarily, but I'm just saying that yeah, like some stuff's not made for me. So what I think with Elder Scrolls 6 is what I have accepted, just like with WoW Retail we talked about earlier, is that there is a good chance that Elder Scrolls will not be good to me. And there will be a lot of gameplay reasons for that, because the gameplay has consistently gone down with Skyrim and, not Skyrim, but Bethesda games gameplay has gone down. And you can make arguments for why or against that. But then the story and the propaganda in it has gone up. And the propaganda is like the narrative things that writers, new generation of writers put in to tell narratives of themselves personally, of things that they struggle with, or things that they care about. And a lot of people care about trans stuff. A lot of people care about racial stuff. And they want to put that in because they feel like they have a message to tell. They feel like they have a message to tell in their own personal writing. And so they put that in. And so it'll probably take me out of it. And I'll be like, well, that was fine. And it probably won't be huge. It won't go gangbusters. And if they're scratching their head, like, why didn't this go gangbusters? Why didn't this go gangbusters? Because like video games are a male conduit of entertainment. And they can keep forcing it to be like a gay thing to do, a women thing to do, or whatever, but it's just not. Games are for like mostly men and kids. And there are female games for sure. But if you try to appeal to everyone, you're going to appeal to no one. And so I think that's what's going to happen with Elder Scrolls 6. I think it's kind of over, guys. I think it's kind of over. Yeah, they don't have to say that shit. Well, true, they don't have to. Game development takes a few years. I think a lot of these games were developed at a time where the trend was just running rampant, along with the writer's strike, COVID, and all that. Probably going to be a year or two before hopefully Strong tips back the other direction.
I've Kingslayer. I agree with you 100%. I think it's already tipping back the other direction, like really hard. And I think it's not even like ultimately what's going to fix things or make things better is money, right? And so with Microsoft's this big behemoth, and they're not going to make any turns or change. They're not going to like change what they're doing ever. So they're just going to amplify what works. So we will see more stuff from Microsoft and EA and them that makes money, that will be like more masculine, because like the Chinese and the South Koreans and the Eastern development studios, they're going way gooner. They're going hard the other way, and they're having a lot of success. So I think Microsoft and them will definitely change. But like you have to think about the people making decisions at Microsoft. I said I would talk about this. Let's just talk about it again, because this is still we'll say this is still the Elder Scrolls video or whatever, but let's talk about it real fast. This is what happens, okay? This is all that happens. Microsoft sits up here and they buy Blizzard or Bethesda or something that says, make me money, okay? And then Microsoft takes all those companies and they put them in the Microsoft ecosystem. They make them use Microsoft tools, Outlook calendars, all the horrible bullshit that Microsoft owns, they make them use it. And then whenever they take them, the people that used to work at these companies, a lot of them leave. And now you have somebody that's like over like the Word documents at Microsoft. He like works for the Word document, or she, like they have all their diverse people. So let's say you have like an Indian woman who's like over Word documents, and she's like, I want to make a change. It's like, okay, what do you want to do? I want to go somewhere different in the company. Okay, cool. Indian lady who's over Word documents, you're now over Elder Scrolls 6. Okay. She doesn't have any experience. She doesn't do video games, whatever. But now like they leave them alone, but they don't leave them alone. Like Todd Howard's still the guy over there. I get that. But like Todd ain't really the guy. Like it ain't like it was. And I'm not saying Todd's like based and like he's against like the liberal woke people. That's not what I'm saying. It's just like Microsoft has quotas they have to make, and they have goals they have to make for diversity, inclusion, and all this kind of stuff. And like that's the almighty thing. And then they have to make their numbers for money. And so what they don't have to do and what they won't do is invest in finding the right people to make the maximum amount of dollars and the maximum amount of good out of their IPs. What do I mean by that? Microsoft is not going to stop and say, let's go to the Bethesda and let's hire all the people that can sell this game and get the highest quality people making Bethesda like Elder Scrolls 6. They're not going to do that. They are going to handcuff Bethesda with their Microsoft ecosystem and how they hire and how they fire and their diversity and their rules. They're going to handcuff them with that. The people that used to work for Bethesda and were kind of based or whatever are probably going to leave and go do something else. And the other people that are older, they'll probably just retire and be like, you know, a lot of the older developers, they'll just be like, okay, we got to follow the rules now, but I've been here forever. I'm just going to retire it out and whatever. And then, but Microsoft isn't going to like have any incentive to make Bethesda good, because what's gonna like all that's gonna happen is Microsoft will say, just make me money, and then when the company doesn't make money anymore, they'll just shut it down, and that's it. Like Elder Scrolls could just die. Like if Elder Scrolls gets so bad and it stops making money, Microsoft will be like, all right, shut it down, we're not gonna make Elder Scrolls games anymore, people don't want it. And it'll be as easy as that. And like it's like Halo. Like they're sitting on a gold mine with Halo, but they're not going to put any effort into Halo. What they're going to do instead is just let Halo sit there and die on the vine. And they're going to give like some little pet projects to people that's not, you know, whatever, like let them have this, let them have, but they're not going to go hard on it. They're not going to really try to make something good. They're just going to meet their diversity quotas and meet their sales quotas and their microtransaction quotas. And if it doesn't work, fuck it, we're done with it. We don't need it. We have all these other IPs. And all they'll do is like, they'll just milk it without making it better. They'll milk it till it's dead, and they'll farm it out till it's dead. They'll put Master Chief in Fortnite and get money out of it before they'll make a new Master Chief game, right? They'll just milk it till it's dead or irrelevant until it stops making money. They're just going to milk it, but they're not going to nourish it. They're just going to milk it. And then when it's no longer relevant, they're just going to continue to buy new things to become relevant. What's interesting with Microsoft and Sony and like, cause they're in EA, they're kind of the big three that do this. Like Roblox
Epic, Fortnite, there's such a void that they're becoming so huge, they're becoming their own huge internal things now. And so you have these like singular games that get so massive, they blow up into their own companies because Microsoft and all them don't actually invest or nourish their IPs at all. They just let them die and then they go buy another one. So like the Claire Obscure Expedition 33 people who are going gangbusters, Microsoft and all them are going to take this IP and they're going to be like, we'll offer you this money to buy this from you. And the people that made it are going to be like, I'll take the check and go make another game. And then you'll have like a few of the 33 developers that went in and made it and be like, all right, okay, yeah. And then they'll milk it. It'll get wokeified. It'll get shitified. They'll make a movie and a TV show that flops. Nobody cares about because that's not the same medium. And so nobody gives a fuck. And then it'll die. Claire Obscure 33 will die, and then doesn't matter. Microsoft will just go buy the next Expedition 33 that blows up. Unless they can't. Unless it's like Epic and it's like Fortnite's hours or whatever, like Roblox's hours. But hell, Microsoft bought Minecraft, dude. So like they'll just buy the thing and then let it go. Now, somebody can make an argument. No, they nourished Minecraft. They make Minecraft good for. I don't know about that. Where's the hot chick transmog? Oh, should we do that? Disney's face when Latina crew Snow White and Black Little Mermaid flop. Exactly. Yeah, I know, Kingslayer, it is what it is. Anyway, so Elder Scrolls 6 getting a new writer. My overall hot take on this, I'll say, is that I'll say this, that I think Elder Scrolls is already cooked. I think Fallout's already cooked. I think it's over. So it doesn't matter who they bring in. I think it's already over. So that's my take. And I'll just say that I think it's already over anyways. I do not have high hopes for ES6. Negative take, but it is the take.